welcome back to another Slice of Life episode on a Friday. We're sticking with employment. I'm still feeling congested. This is immediately after I just, I don't know, had a quick change of plans. Instead of taking a shower, I'm gonna actually do some recordings because there's just so much to get through. And I really do want to do it. So it's just I didn't want to do it in this order. And so it's getting to me a little bit. But anyways, that's all right because we keep it real here with I know the production quality. If I'm not exactly in the right tone, I'm not feeling too in on recording, then maybe that's the point. But we're gonna keep things real and honest here. So yeah, I don't really want to do this recording, but we're gonna do it because it's necessary. Okay. So what I'm here with is I have a different scene up, I'm pretty sure. If you can't tell, this is the direct scene where you can see everything in the background, and that's because thankfully going forward for this entire episode we won't have to do anything that's to be covered privately. So what we have here is my LinkedIn profile, for example, and wow, the irony of that. I'm just gonna show some experience here. So for example, this is me as my most recent. I have at least more than a dozen experiences listed there. I probably put more detail than I needed to, but at the time I was just really razor focused on keeping things together. So we have here is my most recent job. This is a standardized pick. This is at the retail store, grocery, a standardized pick list, annual inventory, discard reclamation, scrap via SAP, scanning UPC codes, monitoring complete daily health and safety, operational and temperature check reports, operate handle devices and DFSM application, learn new display shelves, racking equipment, understand flyer calendar, DMAP cycles, and swap. Again, if you worked in grocery, you know what all this means, but it's all product inventory, checking on the equipment, making sure that the coolers are working, the freezers are working. Face article products for bunker sides, end caps, central city store plan. This is for myself. I took extra initiative on mapping out the entire store on Microsoft Excel, familiarize everything, all the inventory aisles, product inquiries, and so on and so forth. Search supplier dry goods, expiry for a customer, inform LCBO strike impacts on domestic and imported beer. That was a lot of fun, actually. I just gotta say, when I was still new here to this particular store, transferred from a different store, I really enjoyed meeting new colleagues, and in particular, working the liquor aisle. So, improvise facing, stock rearranging liquor tags per shipment, shipment delays, and so on and so forth. Not gonna read through everything. Also negotiating restrictive covenants as training voluntary training certificates, long weekend sales. Further down we have skills, time management, interpersonal relationships, retail design, electronic data interchange. I'm not sure if that's exactly relevant, but analytical skills. There's just certificates down there, certificates for abuse of dominance, negotiating restricted covenants, cybersecurity for stores, retail backroom merchant certificate, so just some basic training. Now, there's a lot. I'm not going to go through all. I'm deliberately avoiding scrolling and showing any addresses or anything like that. But there's seniors home that I volunteered with, and a lot of friends there at one point. Clients, seniors, staff, CEO even. The hospital I volunteered at as well. Information desk, ER, what else? Oh yeah, I had a time of my life there. A lot of retirees were volunteering there, and we just had the best time. Monthly books. That was before pandemic hit. Foreshadowing at an optometric clinic. That was really long ago. Working at a warehouse setting, working at an automotive plant, people like GM, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, for summer jobs 3 times in a row, 3 years in a row. Earned a lot of money there, there's a lot of camaraderie with the men over there. You know, we're all working as teams, so we cover each other's backs, shouting down, "Hey Jim, my machine's down," you know, to our supervisor. I'm obviously keeping my voice down, but you know, you get the idea. I would be much more, "Jim," you know, anyways, shouting from halfway across the warehouse. Anyways, there was other experiences with like, recently, yeah, in the shipping receiving for first aid department and first aid, yeah, both for the first aid department as well as in the warehouse, with the boys out in shipping, you know, yeah, good times. And then all the different clients I had, like 15 different clients, you know, a dozen to 15 clients with the staffing agency, seeing across the city, working with logistic companies, with moving companies, with administrative companies, you know, just cleaning companies. I got to work with a Latino, if they were Colombian, Venezuelan. It was just a team of South American team that had their own little company that we would pack up inside a van and travel. And at one point, went over to an outskirt like Whitby. If you know Whitby, if you know, you know. But like it's a small city. Well, it's not small, but you know. And I helped like with the team. We demolished a house. We were taking down because there was a fire. There was a fire and flooding. So we had like our tools out and we were tearing down. And we had to wear like these hazmat suits because obviously everything's charred up and that could be toxic, right? It's like not the fumes, but the dust, you know, the burnt material. So a lot of stuff, a lot of experience with a lot of people. It was better times. Well, it's still good times now, but I don't know. Right now, I think back then it was like the times were difficult, but people were nice. Now it's the opposite. Now times are like I'm doing well. I feel like times are good. Like I've got my life together and shit together, but like people kind of suck now because everyone's traumatized and really bitter and angry and stuff. So, well, it's better now, but still, you can still feel the undertones. Yeah, so that's a really long talk just for one tab, but I think this tab I'm actually gonna keep open because we're gonna refer to it, but the rest we're gonna close. So, okay, so over here, this is okay. This is me with a different tab here that on LinkedIn is just asking whether or not I want to accept new jobs. Am I actively looking for new jobs? And the obvious answer for me is no. I'm already working part-time. If anything, I would be training. If I had more time, I'd be training for new programs and upskilling. That's it. I'm gonna close this. There's nothing here to showcase, honestly. And speaking of yet another tab that's useless, this page doesn't exist. It's also LinkedIn, but I think what happened here, yeah, there's also another page. Speaking of another pages we're gonna get rid of. There's also LinkedIn, but I can tell that this was something about on the URL it says premium upsell. So it's just one of those notifications they sent. Oh, you can, you know, get LinkedIn Premium Plus or something like that for like a month for free. Maybe you want to try the trial. I don't know. I don't want to try it. So fuck that. Close this as well. So now we're heading into like some administrative stuff. And this is you know, workplace verification. So I was trying to verify my account on LinkedIn, and there's all these issues that I encountered that I think most people don't have to deal with too often, but I tried to verify my workplace, but my email associated with our company in the MS suite just doesn't accept external emails. And so if LinkedIn tries to send, well, LinkedIn's third-party partnership with Clear, which does the biometric confirmations and verifications, tries to send anything to my mail, to my work email address, it's just denied. So I don't receive any external emails from my work address. So as a result, you know, I tried to troubleshoot, and here it is, identity verification. I just couldn't verify my workplace. And then I had another issue when I was trying to get like, okay, fine, let's do like a passport or whatever. I think that's how that works. There were issues because apparently my current face doesn't match my that's not surprising, my passport face from like 10 years ago or whatever. I don't know, I can't remember what the issue was. So let's just read a little bit. An identity verification means that member's government issued ID was verified by one of LinkedIn's verification partners. Currently, identity verification is limited to select geographies. We may expand identity verification globally and add more verification partners in the future. And so ... several bullet points. In India, identity verification is available to members with DigiLocker credentials that meet certain other requirements. Just read that because it's short. Down here is workplace verification. A workplace verification means a member has confirmed their association with a specific company using work email, Microsoft Entra verified ID, a LinkedIn learning license provided by their company, or an active LinkedIn recruiter license provided by their company. So you can do this in various ways: via the work email, via Microsoft Entra, via LinkedIn Learning, and via an active LinkedIn recruiter license. And then you can even do, if you're a student, which is not applicable to me, educational institution verification. So that's basically all there is to it. I'm not gonna go any further. Let's get rid of this tab because obviously, I guess I'm not getting verified anytime soon. So it's too bad. Okay, over here. So we're now at, it looks like a LinkedIn answer to a question. So let me see what that question is. So sharing profile updates with your network. What happened here is I basically updated my tasks and responsibilities and added some new experiences, or old experiences that I hadn't updated on my profile. Actually, I don't usually update my LinkedIn profile. It was only the past year that I went ham on it. Up till then, it was so out of date. But like, it's so out of date, it almost looks like a high school resume. That's how it was like dilapidated. It's like from 2008, maybe 2011. It's so old. I hadn't included any of the experiences. I had such a large amount of experiences and connections, and I just didn't include any of them with the past decade. Because I just didn't dig social media at the time. Of course, eventually you have no choice. So share profile updates with your network. So you can choose to notify your network about job changes, education changes, work anniversaries. Yeah. So they asked me whether or not I want to share my quote unquote new, or rather old experiences. So I didn't. I said no. But here they are telling me how to do that, or how you can do that if you want. So on desktop or mobile browser, you can choose to notify your network about job changes, education changes, work anniversaries, and so on and so forth. Click the About Me icon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to select settings and privacy. 3, click the visibility tab. 4 or 5, step-by-step instructions. So we're just gonna breeze through that as well. Okay, so this one is another help article. Share profile updates with your network. You can choose to notify your network about job changes, education changes, work anniversaries. Same thing, exactly the same thing. This is a duplicate, so we'll just get rid of it. So easy. So easy. Okay, here's something that's really relevant. So as I showed my experiences from earlier, right? Here's something that I had to learn. That was really important because I had, moved between several different roles and positions within the same companies several times. Each companies I've basically been through at least 2 roles, 2 positions, right? You kind of like ascend or climb up the ladder a little bit. And it wasn't really ladder climbing for me for the most part. It's just like switching different roles and getting different experiences. So becoming from like general labor to like shipping, receiving, to like working in the assembly line. And then becoming a coordinator in a sort. And then another, jumping from the ER department and patient registration over into like a different, like the information desk, and then doing monthly book sales in the volunteering department. And then another one is like, an example, like doing, a restaurant and bus or restaurant. Oh, that's something I don't talk about. I was like I was doing like waitering and busing service, you know, being a busser in the seniors home. Is like, that's where it started off. Oh man, the memories, the people, experiences. And then yeah, and then eventually I went to health promotion, you know, health promotion events, you know. And then afterwards went to friendly visiting and calling seniors and shopping for them, and it's just wow. So like life. So position grouping, this is really important because, you know, what it does is to better represent I'll read it straight out. To better represent career progression and development, positions in your experience section are grouped if they were held at the same company back to back, like consecutively. They have the same logo and link at the same LinkedIn page. So important to know is that for position to be grouped, the start and end dates should be within 1 month of each other, which that's something I had to learn. And you can display your career progression within the company by specifying your employment type for each position, such as full-time, part-time, self-employed, freelance, contract, internship, apprenticeship, and more notes and so on and so forth. So that's all there is, but it's really important, right? It's something important especially if you want to show developments within the same company, you know. And finally, we're over here at settings. So as you can imagine, right, when we're tinkering with a profile and account and everything, then you can do the same with your profile. Right, so here's your settings, right? So name, location, industry, personal demographic information, verifications, display. I always choose dark mode. It's easier on the eyes. It's not just aesthetically, it's like easier on the eyes, really. I just don't want to stare at the screen like this bright and blinding. General preferences, language, content language. So this all, you know, you can tinker around and play with the settings. Account preferences, sign-in security, navigation tabs, visibility, data privacy, advertising data, and notifications. So that's, you know, that's just the settings tab. So you can basically configure everything right here. It's very straightforward. It's just LinkedIn. Everyone knows how that works, right? Basically. But if it's not, you can learn it. Especially if you're a youth and you're, you know, still working on just applying for your first co-op job or stuff like that. You know, this is stuff to work on. Alright, so this is something I don't do too often. I kind of did a shift to a different instance on Edge. So this is a different instance of Microsoft Edge. But as you can see, despite, you know, I have like 35 instances, and each instance has like anywhere between 80 to up to like 400 tabs. So verifications on your LinkedIn profile, important to know. Pause our educational institution verifications moving forward. So if you previously verified your institution, educational, long story short, what they're saying is you're a school. If you're working if you're studying as a student, you can no longer verify any further. But if you already had verified your profile and your identity as a student of, say, like, I don't know, University of like Ottawa, then you would be able to maintain that. Anyways, that's, I don't know, it's the same page again. This is like, see what I mean? It's important, but I was really pissed off that I couldn't verify my account. You know? And yet again, another page. Yeah, I'm not pissed off anymore, but I was, you know, I was like, just wasting all my fucking time just trying to get verified, because there's substantial benefits to getting verified, obviously, right? It's like, you know, you would demonstrate you're a real person, not some bot. Anyways, I mean, that's kind of obvious, but anyways, moving to this one, probably the last tab we have for LinkedIn. Page not found. We can't seem to find a page we're looking for. 404, don't know what it was, probably some kind of article for help. Yeah, try going to the previous page to see our help center for more information. Let me just make sure that it's the last thing we'll cover. Okay, yeah, that's just true. This is the last page. Nothing else that there's stuff that's still related to LinkedIn, but I realized they work better to be another connection and relationships and just general, you know, meeting people, you know, experiences with other people kind of thing. So that's it. We're officially done most of the LinkedIn stuff for the most urgent stuff that I want to get rid of. And that's good, because now we're gonna head over back to CamH for a moment. and knock off one final episode that I think will involve like the mental health thing for the institution. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. This is employment. So cheers.